Hi liebe Leute und herzlich willkommen zu einem neuen Video von Call of Cthulhu. Ja, wir sind ja hier in der Anstalt, in der wir ja eingewiesen worden sind, weil wir angeblich Psycho...
Control wheel to mount on a plumbing system.
So, das war's. Ja, wir könnt ja... Ich weiß gar nicht, was wir machen müssen. Ach ja, genau, wir müssen die Wachen ja ablenken. So war das. Da kam ja diese Frau, die hat uns ja dann aus der Zelle geholt und dann wollte sie die Leute ablenken und pipapo.
The green gas leaves from here and it runs through the whole building.
Okay, dann werden wir das mal unterbinden.
This valve controls the pressure. It's impossible to break this chain with my bare hands. A duct.
Sehr schön. So, muss ich mal irgendwas finden.
Now for the next step.
Womit ich das aufbrechen kann.
This padlock is too complicated for me.
Aber ich habe da auch Schlüssel.
All the levers are activated. The door is blocked on the other side.
Hat er ein Problem mit Enge? Klaustrophobisch? Verdammt.
This lever must turn on the gas machine.
Verdammt, ich muss erst das neue Rad, noch ein Rad finden.
There's nothing happening.
Ja, weil ich das Ventil nicht finde.
There's nothing happening.
Druck wieder da. So, jetzt muss ich nur noch so ein Oder was? Was stand da? Achso. Oh, da steht er ja.
That should draw the attention of the guards. I should hide.
I'll go take a look. This way.
Oh. Ich bin gefasst worden.
That should draw the attention of the guards. I should hide.
Damn it. What's going on? This way.
Digga.
Doctor, is that you?
Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious machine. It gives us time to get away. I'll undo you.
Get away? Get away where? I can't go anywhere. It'll find me like it found me here. You're mistaken about the beast. Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
You're Sanders, aren't you? I heard you from my cell. What did they do to you? What does Fuller want with you?
The doctor? You think it's the doctor who scares me? The doctor wants to heal me. But he's the one who's crazy. He wants to restore my sight. He wants to give me back my eyes. And yet I told him that I didn't want him. I do not want to see it anymore. The real culprit is Sarah. Her and her accursed paintings.
You're kidding me. You're talking about Sarah Hawkins.
The one and only. The legendary. There is no artist more enlightened or cursed than Sarah Hawkins.
In her office, I saw signs of a ritual, perhaps an invocation. These things, that's what makes you say she's cursed.
You're wrong. It was not an invocation, but a revocation. But she failed. that's what counts.
What's going on this island?
I'm so sorry. We should never have met.
What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. No, don't let it see you, or you won't be able to escape it. Don't look at it. That's how it finds you.
What finds me?
Sarah Hawkins' visitor. The Shambler.
Sanders, pull yourself together.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save me.
No! Sanders! What the hell? I gotta...
Digga, was ist denn jetzt los?
Okay. This is insane. What killed him?
Alter, was war das? Aber wenn Charles noch lebt, wen haben sie denn noch vergraben? Wohl gar nichts. Schon wieder dieses dämliche Gas.
Damn! The gas! Oh. My head.
Later. We need to move on.
Wille der Hawkins. Kapitel 6. Ich bin echt verwirrt.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Die haben die wieder hergerichtet und die ganzen Bretter sind weg.
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
Sieht so aufgeräumt hier aus.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
It seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital, and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes. I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there, with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, Please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Das wird mein Schicksal verändern. Also heißt, jede Entscheidung ändert die Geschichte. Schlurfer.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
Für Riesenhäuser, ey.
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
We had a short conversation and then I left. I don't know what happened after that.
Oh, I see. Mr. Pierce, you must forgive my audaciousness, but I've had practice of life in high society for over 30 years. Reading one's interlocutors, recognizing the politeness of a lie, are things that are taught very early to young girls from a good family. But your lie has nothing polite about it. It is crass, insulting, and dare I say, terribly suspicious. Try to understand my position. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
It's terrible what happened to your husband, but I had nothing to do with it. I was injured, and I came across him in the hospital quite by chance.
Injured? Well, I'm delighted to see you in such fine fettle, Detective. Not everybody enjoyed such a prompt recovery.
I suppose Fuller does do miracles now and again.
Luck is obviously very kind to you. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can't imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Okay, da bin ich mal gespannt, was das jetzt für ein Bild ist.
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Oh, Sarah sieht aber nicht sehr begeistert aus. Ja.
Frances Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? A house of artists. A house of artists. A house of artists.
Kann ich das?
A house of artists.
Gut, kann ich jetzt nicht machen.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? He didn't want Sanders to have the painting. She must have felt devastated. Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins? The Shambler. I need to see it. Did she really care for him after all?
Okay.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Okay. Wo ist denn die Galerie? Ach, hier ist der Eingang. Da war ich doch richtig. Boah, von dem ganzen Route wie bescheuert werden.
A strange Amerindian pendant. I could use one of those. Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Okay.
An old diary.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network, and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
Auf jeden Fall nicht. Was war das? Schick. Warum soll ich mich hier verstecken können? Oh, der Typ hat aber auch alles gesammelt, ja.
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Moin. Wenn ich Geld hätte, würde ich mir auch so in eine Bude stellen. Einmal groß und einmal in klein da. Groß und in klein. Oh, ist auch in klein. Ach, da ist das Ding. Cool. Gucken wir uns aber jetzt gleich an. Noch ein Messer. Kann nichts machen. Also wird das gleich hier dunkel. Irgendwann muss er gleich kommen.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Da ist noch ein klein. Alles hat er einmal groß hier stehen und hat er einen kleinen stehen. Ja, dann geben wir uns mal das gruselige Bild. Ja, so, liebe Leute, bevor ich da jetzt drauf drücke und das passiert, beende ich immer das Video. Man hört ja mal dann auf, wenn es am schönsten ist. Ich hoffe, euch hat es bis hierhin gefallen. Und wenn ihr Bock drauf habt, dann seid gerne beim nächsten Mal, weil ich hier drauf drücke und dann gucken, was passiert. Es ist wieder wahrscheinlich safe dunkel. Muss ja jetzt also viel Öl. Upsala. Und ja, da bin ich mal gespannt, wie das alle noch hier zusammenhängt. Ich muss sagen, das ist gerade richtig spannend. Oh,
Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it?
Richtig spannend. Und ja, wenn ihr Bock drauf habt, seid ihr beim nächsten Mal mit dabei. Wäre richtig cool. Würde mich sehr freuen. Und dann wünsche ich euch noch einen schönen Tag. Bis dahin. Und wenn euch das Video gefallen hat, dann lasst doch mal ein Like oder einen Kommentar da. Vergesst nicht, mich zu abonnieren, wenn euch meine Videos gefallen. Ansonsten wünsche ich noch einen schönen Tag. Bis dahin.